We're live. Mendezville, holla at your boy. What's going on? I got a special guest. He's right here. I'll introduce him in a bit. Hopefully everybody's doing well. I apologize if there's any inconvenience. I haven't been this way for a while. Took me about 45 minutes for the whole setup. Let me know if there's a loop. If I sound too loud, make some comments. Without further ado, let's do this. What's up, JL?
How's it going, guys?
JL Perez.
Thank you so much for having me here. It's a pleasure having a chat with you and the community and the school district and everything you wanna discuss. We're here to give some information, get some information, and hopefully inform some residents, school IC personnel, and family.
Just, just, just so you guys know, I met JL. You were one of the first guys I met when I moved back to Valley.
Probably so.
Yeah.
We used to work together for.
You're my boss.
Kind of. Yes, kind of, sort of, in a way. We could say that. You know.
You were what? The math department?
Well,
The math department?
when you got there, I was already at JD Salinas. Your brother was there when I was at Ed Richards. So I spent a little bit about myself. I started my teaching career in '95, and then I moved to a middle school in '99. I spent there 10 years at Ed Richards. The last year there, that's when I met Adolfo when he came into our program at Ed Richards. With
Yeah.
Mr. Cuevas and Carlos Castillo was there and so forth. So from there, 2010, 2009, we moved to JD Salinas. And I believe that's when you came on board.
Yeah, 2011.
2011. Well, we started in 2010, but you came in a year after, I believe.
Is that what it was? I didn't know.
Yes, yes. We started a year before, and then you came in the second year. I was there.
Órale.
And what I did, just to clarify a little bit, why you say it was a boss, I don't really consider that, but I was in charge of the math department. At that time, I was a math department head, which is the whole math department data analysis and planning and so forth came through our department heads. And I was in charge of that department for 10 years at JD. I was in charge of math department in Andridge, which is when I was there for about 7 years. So a total about 17 years as a math department head before I moved into the migrant department and eventually the migrant director at La Jolla ISD.
I'll tell you what, when it comes to math, today I felt I remember seeing you in the track meets, and you know how the times are coming in?
Yeah.
Y que por math, and these two graders, heat. So today, at the cross country meet, I got assigned the scores table. Y pues, órale, first, he points, he came by, at least it wasn't as hard, it's not as fast, but I remember you doing that.
It takes, I learned a lot from a lot of different coaches and teachers that we've had in our school district. I need to promote our La Jolla ISD because I'm a graduate from there, graduated in 1988.
Proud enough.
La Jolla Coyotes, of course, football player, play with a lot of great athletes. Gilbert, I'm going to mention a few. Gilbert Casanova, Robert Jackson, Nico Peña, Andy Gonzalez. A lot of them are teachers or administrators in our district. You know, Raimundo Gonzalez, 32 years ago, this past December 7th, he passed away. So we still remember him as we speak. And we are very close knit class of '88. We still get together and share some stories and talk about our high school years, of course. So Nick Mendoza, Rick Ramos, Rick Castes, Mingo Villarreal, JR Flores. There's so many people that we still have contact with them. And I think, Rudy, what this pandemic has done is
Hold on, do me a favor. Move the mic a little bit more this way.
so what
Like in front.
can you
Yeah,
hear me?
like move it this way.
What this
Yeah, right there.
right there. What this pandemic has done is really slows us. It has. I think we were going too fast and living too fast that we kind of stayed out of touch with family and friends. And now it seems like the little things are more important now, especially in my life. Cherish those small things and family time, and those things might not. I don't think it was a focus before pandemic. Now it's more of a I can say more people are making adjustments in their lives with their jobs to spend more time with their kids and so forth. So I think there has to be some kind of reason why all this stuff is happening, and hopefully at the end of the day, it's going to be for the best of family involvement.
It's that's a very interesting because I'm a big church guy. I don't go to church, but I do believe in the divine intervention, the greater God, whatever it is. And as much as part of my science and that part of my brain, I still believe that there's got to be something that said, hey, you know what? I agree with that comment you made. I agree with that comment you made. And when we talk about that, a lot of people lost a lot of loved ones. A lot of people lost a lot of loved ones. And, in our district, employees, and, we all knew it, from bus drivers, teachers, all these things. You know more people than I do. Moving forward, how do we go about that? Or what are the challenges that you see or we see with our youth, seeing that your kids are in the district, my kids are in the district, as dads, as teachers, educators, what do you see the struggles with not necessarily the district, but just in general students that their challenges are?
Let me tell you what I've noticed. I've been in the district for 27 years, I believe, 27, and at different capacities. And I think our children are lacking the skills of how to get into the social network. We're so much into Facebook, into
It's terrible.
into texting, and that we're lacking the communicating skills with each other and getting along with people. I think that since the kids didn't go to school, they didn't practice a skill, which is probably the most important thing, is
No doubt.
is getting along with people and having conflicts and resolving those conflicts. Because one thing for sure, we're gonna have conflicts in life with a lot of people. How are we gonna resolve those issues? How are we gonna react to those conflicts? That's what's gonna separate people. Are we gonna make something that out of this world, or are we going to resolve this, amicably and professionally? How are we going to do that? How are the kids going to be trained to do that? And this is one of the things that I see that the kids need to practice more than anything else. So yes, we teach the math, we teach the reading, and we have fantastic, phenomenal schools and teachers in the OAC. I'm gonna name a few because they impact my life. Pat Garza, she just retired. Estela Garza, que en paz descanse. She was my teacher when I was in high school. Martha Liu, those teachers really, I still can name them because I still have they impact our lives. And technology was not in the system. It was not around, but we had that network that I'm glad to say that they were able to impact our lives. Now with technology, it seems that yes, technology is good, it's amazing, but we can't for those people that are having their kids at homeschooling. I think they're missing out in the network, the relationship, and getting along with people. Yes, the pandemic is there. I think everybody should be vaccinated. Vaccines are going to be here for forever, like all the kids, get vaccines, and so far we haven't had any issues with kids, but we're hoping to beat this by being positive and staying negative, of course, with
Stay
being
negative,
negative,
for
but being
COVID.
positive
Yeah.
about this whole situation, and
Other than
and a lot of things are going to change. A lot of things are going to change, but I think the challenges for the kids is how do you avoid conflict? how do we solve that conflict? Because that skill is going to last forever. Talking about conflict, we talk a little bit about politics or what's going on with the different entities. But again, I'm going to promote La Jolla ISD because we have tremendous teachers. Amazing. Let me tell you a story. Um, Now, at this capacity, in the migrant director, I talk a lot to Region 1, TEA, other districts, and so forth. You know what, Sheridan? One of the Sheridan administrators from the ISD told me, he says, we love to hire teachers from La Jolla. We love to hire administrators from La Jolla. And we have a lot of those here because La Jolla really does a phenomenal job in training teachers and administrators that when they leave, like Sherry and Anton, we love to get people from there because they're known and they're well trained. So I'm glad and I'm proud to say that being there is gonna make you better elsewhere. We hate to lose a lot of those people, but we know that we're doing something right, that the school district is doing something right because it's amazing the experiences that I have to say at this level now. It's a lot of great people in the departments. So
I agree. For the people watching, I'm one of the ones that still gets trained because I'm still a teacher, coach, and yeah, we go to the trainings and there's conversations and there's you know I was impressed with that I had never seen, and you had told me, hey, try to get on the show so people know what we offer. Is your wife Manuel? She came to Dr. Science and she's just so smooth and she's probably pulling these teenagers nowadays with the iPad and this. I'm like, man, I don't even know how to do that. I mean, I know how to mess with these gadgets, but I was very impressed with it, and I should have got her on the show. I didn't get her.
I think she will. She will. And I mean, she's really done a phenomenon because she's my wife. But
I'm telling you, I was impressed. Very impressed.
She goes to campus and sets the schedules and go and trains these people about the teachers of how to use the different applications. I mean, technology is updating daily.
Yeah.
Like 1 week, you might not recognize some of the functions because somebody has to be up to date to be able to train those teachers. Hey, this changed. The Google platform is amazing. A lot of districts are using it. We're the Google platform, a district, which requires some training in the documentation process and the application process. So we have those people there in central office and our administration that are providing that training to this. So we have gone, and myself too, we've gone to go to some campuses that I like to, I always like to kind of share what we do, what's worked for me in the past. And we've tried a lot of things that doesn't work, but that's what the whole system is. What has worked, that we can repeat those practices, those best practices. So I'm pretty sure that she will probably come to the show and let people know about what the technology is all about and what is she doing in central office and how is she impacting a lot of teachers as well. But definitely we've I guess come a long way with the technology.
No doubt. We have great teachers. No doubt about it. People say, why not Jolla? Because we have great teachers. We have great teachers. And it's, for example, sometimes when people find out that I'm zone 2, China Sherry Elementary, and all 3 of my kids go to Zapata Elementary, Mr. Pepito. And this is me just shout out to Mr. Pepito and his plug. And I do it all the time, every chance I get. I hope one day people talk about my coaching the way I talk about his fine arts program. Incredible guy. Super. I mean, you look. My daughter's young Nala. She'll be doing young Nala, and she does her lines here. I don't know. But I've seen his production pre-COVID. They did what was the show? The Jungle Book. I thought I was watching a high school production, but he's good. So we do have good teachers, and I met a bunch of. I got to work at Ann Richards. I worked at JL Salinas. I got to work at Chavez Middle School, and I'm at the Science. We have amazing teachers, no doubt about that.
My five kids. I have a 30-year-old that she's a teacher herself, and
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
and she'll be joining Memorial Middle School
Nice.
very soon. I think she starts next Monday. She spent 6 years at IDEA,
Oh, wow.
but now she's moving into the our
Awesome.
district. She's been wanting to come for a while, and uh, uh, she's a graduate from La Jolla, and she's done fantastic at IDEA, I must say. But what we offer at La Jolla ASD, it's it doesn't compare. It just doesn't compare. So some of you that uh, that say we're losing kids, and let me tell you where we're losing kids at the elementary level, because once they realize at the middle school and high school what we have to offer
Right.
as far as the academics, the type of teachers that we have, they come back. They come back and say, "Well, I want my child to have those full enrollment classes, to have those full AP classes, to have that type of education, because eventually, when they go to college, they're going to be prepared." And La Jolla has done a long ways with that. So we compete with the best. And we're so proud of our kids' growth. And we want to continue. We want to continue to promote it, and to let people know that our teachers are the best that we have in the valley, possibly the state, because
Because they are.
they
Because they are. They
sure.
are. I grew up in, I went to school back in the 90s. I have a story to tell, and I apologize to my wife. It's no big story, but it deals with girls. And I've always been proud that, yo soy coyote. I grew up there. We competed in basketball. I thought I was pretty smart. I went to UTSA. All my three brothers went to UTSA. My brother's best friend, who lives in Pinitas now, he went to UTSA. Come on. So, I'm at UTSA, right? And I hate that people have this impression, because when they have this impression, they don't know. When you have this impression, you don't know how the student body, the teachers, that we're good. That we're really are. So I'm at this OBR restaurant / bar after hours. We were there, my fraternity brother. Hey, we're there. And he, hey, well, let's go talk to those two girls. I'm like, all right, let's go talk to them. So, hey, I don't know what I said or what I did. We start talking to them 2-3 minutes, little joke here and there, whatever, icebreaker. And then all of a sudden, the typical college conversation, hey, so where are you guys from? Oh, yeah, we're from the Valley. I'm like, what? I'm from the Valley. So I'm like, hey, I thought we got something in common, right? So then he's like, where are you from? What part of the Valley? From Memorial. Mustangs. All right. Oh, yeah. Hey, I'm from La Jolla. Y con un orgullo, bro. Like, hey, I'm from La Jolla, baby. Yeah, aquí, yeah. Oh, yeah, bro. That was the very first time that I saw, or that I felt, the improper impression that people have because they don't know. And within 30 seconds, they stopped talking to us and they left. And I was like, what? And I remember, it's like, I hate to compare it to like somebody was racism, like somebody you feel that racism. I felt like that. Like, what? Like, what's wrong with us? So when I went to UTSA, you know the story, UTSA, NSA, LMU, I come back, I'm like, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna help to prove to everybody that we are a great district. We're a great district.
So yes, I think there might have been some perception out there, about, La Jolla is, I'm not too sure, but I mean, so far, I must say that at this position that I have right now, that I've seen other districts.
Not to say that other districts are bad.
No,
Not to say that other districts are bad.
but they do have, the other districts they're good. We've gone to go see, and I'm gonna give props to Bill Gray. We went to go visit Bill Gray. We had the opportunity to go see the school, because Bill Gray is one of those schools, Texas to watch schools, and they are organized very well. One of our teachers that I taught with is an assistant principal there now. And when she was one of the ones that says, we love people from La Jolla because they're good at what they do. So now she's there at Peel Green. I was impressed with the organization of the campus, how things, the whole environment, the whole climate. However, I saw teaching there. I went to go see the teaching of those teachers. I will not say that they are better than what we have in our district. None of them. None of them that I went to go see are better than what I've seen in La Jolla AC. So because of that, I've gone too far. I've gone to had a chance to go to McAllen, to go to the classrooms. I haven't seen nobody says wow like I've seen in La Jolla AC. But again, our teachers are graduating and they're leaving our district because sometimes the opportunities come somewhere else. But I've seen teaching, and they have some good schools. Sherina has some great schools, but I still haven't seen the teaching that I've witnessed in La Jolla SD.
Right. I completely agree. I'm on the same boat on that. So we're teaching together. We coach together.
Yeah.
We coach together. We play fantasy football together.
I think we still do. I think I'm playing you this week.
I'm gonna beat you, JL.
I need to win. I need to win to make the playoffs. Because I don't. But
hey,
nonetheless,
if any of our fantasy football, he's not gonna make it the playoffs. Where you're not gonna make it. So you're coaching. You decide to run for the city of Palmview.
Yeah.
First campaign. Tell me about that.
Let me reflect back a little bit. We have some great friends, and I'll mention them in a little bit. But my area, when I lived, it was not Palmview. It was Palmview demographics, but it was not city of Palmview.
So it's county or where?
Yes, it was county.
Okay.
A little portion. So once it became Palmview, Palmview had they annexed some properties around it. Became a lot bigger than what it was before. So I asked, hey, I want to get involved in the city. I want to be involved, and I talked to this friend of mine who's still
once you were
once I was in the city, say I want to be in the committee, I want to do this and so forth. The opportunity didn't come to be in those committees for whatever reason. That's fine. Sometimes it's hard because it's so very few committees, and a lot of people might want to be there. So then we had this conversation about the possibility of running for commissioner. And I said, yeah, I'm interested. Who are you gonna run? I don't know who. I don't even know who was there or who was running. I had no idea. So I'm just run. Who's running with you? I didn't even know.
Like a team.
Yeah, like there was
like a party or whatever. Slate, yeah.
I didn't know who it was until we went to go sign or took when we did the flip as far as who's going to be first in the ballot.
Right.
That's when I met the people that I was going to be teaming up or the slate that I was at, and this is when I met some great people. I mean, Pastor De La Rosa was one of them. Still have a relationship with him, as we speak. We still have great talks and amazing pastor. So Orlando Nastanciano was the other one that I got to meet, and there was a history before because my nephew was to hang around with him and so forth. So I got to meet a lot of people
on the first campaign.
On the first campaign, I got a lot of people that and extended my network, I would say, to more people that in that political field, because I was not in the political. Even people when we get together, it says, "What are you doing in politics?" No, I mean the opportunity came. It was a nice experience, and they said, "Let's go with it." So we did. We were not successful. However, we learned so much.
I was bummed the first time because you were still JD. I was bummed. I was like, "What? We didn't win."
So the thing is that it happens, and in life you're gonna have those things. you're gonna have those things. How are you gonna react? How are you gonna come forth? What are you gonna be your reaction?
Right.
What's your character whenever things don't go well? That's what really amplifies your 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 person as a person that you are. So I said, but what do I do now? So fine, I didn't win. Uh, I said, I'm gonna go back to school. I want to go back to school to get my master's.
Mm.
Why not? I have the time. My wife had already had her
Who beat
master's.
you at the time?
It was Linda Sarabia.
Oh, Linda Sarabia was
See, we ran
I heard
into
on the
each other,
show.
and I didn't know her at that time, but I knew her family
Mm.
or yeah, her aunts. I graduated with Yvette Reese, which is we graduated together, so I knew her family, but I didn't know her, and was we met and so forth. So guess what I did? I went to take some classes, finish my math. Great, everything went great.
Welcome to the club.
So I mean, I think it's just the time that you spend there, the dedication, the commitment that you complete something, and it's what it's all about. Nothing else. So when I was taking my last course or my last two courses, the opportunity came about again to run. I wasn't thinking about it. I wasn't thinking. I wanted to finish my master's first. Let me finish it up, and came about to run again.
Masters in what?
Educational administration.
Oh, okay.
So when I decided to run, I said, "Well,
You're still in school at the time.
I'm still in school and I'm still taking courses."
Okay.
And then I was running.
Oh.
Mira, let me tell you something. Um, when I did that, you were in that cohort. You were allowed to skip a class and then move that class further. Like I was not going to graduate until a semester
Oh, okay.
later, but they would allow that. I said, should I do it? I mean, should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? Or should I continue with the class, still running the campaign?
Ah.
Well, I talked to my wife, and my wife said, "No, pues, you know what? But let's continue with your course and still doing this."
Márrese.
Ni modo. So así pasó. It's really unpredictable, and the city of Palmview is very unpredictable because it's gotten very conservative. The city is a lot bigger than it was before, so people are coming out to vote and deciding. And we to tell you the truth, you're there and you're looking at people coming and voting, and sometimes you feel like I feel like I won, or you feel, but now you can't really tell.
It's getting harder.
Because the people are becoming educated to come and vote for whoever they feel, and that's fine. It's a great process, and I learned from the best. I have to give props to Aida Salinas Flores, my mother-in-law. She ran for state judge twice before she won and continued 18 years.
Oh, wow.
But she lost twice. Just because we lose or you lose doesn't mean that it doesn't mean that people are not good or not good people. It doesn't matter. It just whatever they decide at that given point for whatever they feel. That's
But isn't that democracy?
yes, to the
Finest.
fullest, to the
Yeah.
fullest, and we are in the states, in the United States, that preaches that
Right.
and practices that. So it's great to see, did we win? Did we not win? So the second time around, again, I ran and we were successful. And then that was in 2018. Then I finished my master's. That I think we won in November, and in May I finished. By April, I finished my master's, and things worked well with that. And then now we have to juggle the service. What are we doing there? And then we'll talk a little bit about the next sequence of
Right.
topics.
It's interesting, the campaign. I guess before we get, which is good, I just want to tell a story on how people talk about how, hey, you're on that team, I'm on this team. So watch this story. So I'm Mendezville, right? Mendezville, my objections or my objective view. So I go, my brother's running for outside, which we're going to talk about outside here in a bit. So my brother's running for outside. So, I'm going to go to the tent, go help him, do whatever it is they want me to do, help him out. But across over there is Mario Flores because Alex is running. And over here, right? She was running, yeah.
Yes.
And then I got over here,
Rachel was running.
right? I got over here Ricky Garcia, who is a baseball coach. He was my coach, who I now coach with his son. Then on that side, I got Alex Cantu, who we went to high school together. He used to go to hang out with UTSA with me. And to me, when I walk on those 10, Joel is there, Mr. Juan Garcia is there. I hang out with his son Cruz, we golf. When I go to those, what are tarps, las carpas, the tents. So I'm going there. There's a street going to the mansion, and I'm just like, I know all of these people, and I'm going across the street. Hey, what's up? We're talking about baseball. Hey, what's up? Coach Garcia's talking trash the way he usually does, and we're going back and forth with coach and who recruits and who doesn't recruit. To me, it was you're running a campaign. Let people vote. Let's just hang out and talk a little bit. I don't know. I just never let it get to me where it's like, you got to be on my team or you're on my team. And I think with the show that's one of my objectives is you have your platform or you have your agenda, and who may the best person win. Right? Am I off?
No, you're not. And the community supposed to win all the time, regardless.
The community, that's a great statement.
Okay? The community is going to win all the time because they're choosing and they're going to get whoever they think it's the best representative for their community. So that's a given. Community should win all the time. We have people, friends. The community is so small that even if I don't know you, I'm gonna know somebody that you know. It might be your relative. In this case, when I was running the first time, I knew the family, so it's okay. I got to know her more whenever we served later in the commission. However, we have a lot of perceptions, and what I don't like is that friendships, a lot of networks become open, but then at the same time, a lot of friendships become a problem. They become a problem that we are dealing with right now in some people. I have to say that with politics, I'm not going to lose friends. If people have a situation whether I think differently, my thing is what's the best for our community. We're representing a community. That's all we are. We're representing and making decisions for our community. What's the best situations for the community first? And some people might have different views, and I never want to. So far, I've never lost friendships. We disagreed. I think we even have a disagreement
all the time
in some issues, and I'll tell you a story about some of those things, and I wanted to get it out because it's what this is supposed to be. When I was running the second time,
that's all right.
When I was running the second time, there was I was running against Jos.
Against who?
Jos Hernandez.
Oh,
really, really good family, very good family, and they were walking on the streets, and we were talking about knocking on people's doors to kind of promote ourselves and so forth. I was home, so they went to my house to go and leave those pamphlets and stuff like this, and they didn't know that I lived there.
Oh, okay.
They didn't know I lived there, so it was funny. So they didn't know how I was going to react. And Rick Villarreal went to school with me since fifth grade, graduated together. At that time, he was running for mayor. So we started talking, and we took a selfie. We took a
Even though
selfie.
they were on the opposing.
Yes,
Yeah.
we took a selfie. I still have that picture because
Opposing party
Yes.
goes to your house,
Yes.
knocks on the door, here's a pamphlet,
yes, and
they
we
went to jail.
hey, what's going on? We started talking. Take a picture.
Why not?
We took a picture, and I still have it because I want to have that as an example, saying, "Hey, this is we're running for this, but it's not running just against you because I totally disagree what you're doing or saying or things.
You just have maybe different.
We just running to serve.
Right.
You're running to serve. I'm running to serve, and whoever's gonna be there will probably be the best that do the best that they can for the city in the decision making process. So I think it was a good start for that because we want to build those relationships, whether we run against or for or with. Hey, let's run. Rick Villarreal and I are. We ran against each other in opposing slates, not directly against each other, but now we are running together. We're gonna be and as a team.
So once you're in, you're in. Now
it's you have a voice. Everybody has a
Yeah.
voice, and people are. We have some good discussions, and good things are happening. Thanks to the commission, the whole people are really very democratic, and great things are happening. So we'll see about that.
before we continue with the growth of Palmview moving forward.
Mhm.
So I go to UTSA, graduate from '99 from La Jolla. Go to UTSA, Indiana, get my master's. Work at Loyola Marymount. Back to UTSA. I come back. Why do I see mission growth? Which people consider Sheridan, but it's mission,
Yes.
right? Sherry Road. I see McAllen's growth. I see PSJ growth. Can you give me your opinion or feedback or your knowledge? Why, for example, Mission down South Benson Road. Why did Palmview not grow at the same rate as those that I just mentioned?
Okay. Let me start back a little bit way before any of us were there.
Okay.
Okay. There was
Any of us were there? What do you mean?
any of the existing
The commission, the
commissioners,
current commission.
current commissioners.
You're talking about back in the 90s,
Yeah,
2000, early 2000s.
Well, I mean, it might even be early 2000. I'm not too sure when
Okay.
it was, but let's suppose it was.
But the
back then.
current,
So what happens is that it started to annex
Mhm.
to grow as demographically. So that's when things started to happen because the cities are survived with revenue. Revenues that come into the cities and then provide the service. We
Okay.
get revenues and provide the service, whether it's taxes or whatever the other types of revenues that we get. And we'll talk a little bit about how the misconception is there and so forth. What Mission has and what McAllen has. So if you look at Mission City Hall,
okay,
if you go north
north of Mission.
of Mission, you're going to touch Mission. From
Okay.
Palmview, you're gonna go north. You're gonna go to Mission. If you're gonna go to City Hall and you go south,
Wait, hold on. You're talking about Mission City Hall or Palmview Mission?
Palmview City
Oh,
Hall.
Palmview City Hall,
Palmview City Hall.
where the park is.
See where the park is at. If
Okay.
you go north, you're gonna go to Palmview High School,
Yes,
and Palmview High School
is in Mission.
It's in Mission.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not in Palmview. If you go south,
Old 83.
all past Old 83, all the way
Okay.
south, you're gonna hit Mission again.
Hmm.
So you go south, you're gonna hit Mission. You go north, you're gonna hit Mission. If you go west,
Towards
where
Benny
Chavez is at,
Chavez, yes.
all that area it pertains to Mission.
How did we get boxed in?
So we were boxed in somewhere. So it was really hard to grow demographically because opportunities came when they came and surrounded us.
Was there, did we not do something? Did we?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I
You
cannot
don't know?
say
You
what
can't
the
say.
situation is at
Right.
that time. So
Right.
I cannot
Right,
say
speculation, right.
what,
We
what
really don't know
happened.
the facts,
So
yeah.
the only thing I can tell you is what's happening
We're
right
boxed
now.
in right now.
We're boxed in. So when it grew a little bit more, that's when my area came into
Oh,
play, and we have grown We were from 5,000 people to 15 or 17,000 people now in Palmview, right? So we've grown there. One of the things that we don't have that Mission has, and we compare it to ourselves to Mission. Why Mission? Why McAllen? First of all, in Mission, they have the water rights. Okay, they have the water rights. So you go to Mission, you pay, you connect the water, you go to the city of Mission to connect the water, and they sell you the water.
So the city of Mission has its own water.
The water rights, and they have their own
Okay.
water. You pay the bill there, city of Mission, and they provide the water and so forth. So that's a revenue they have for them. So do they have a sewer system? Yes, they have a sewer system. They also the Mission residents pay the sewer system through the water to Mission. So all those are revenues and services that they provide, and that brings money and revenues to the city, right? So Palmview, we don't have the sewer system, we don't have the water rights, so our revenues are limited. So there is Awasad, who has an entity to service county areas that are not in the city to provide the water for those homes and businesses wherever they are at the north side. So Palmview, we do not have the water rights. We don't have the sewer rights. Awasad does. It's a total different entity. You understand? Mission has theirs. McAllen has theirs. ESJ has theirs. Edinburgh has theirs. So if you're going to compare ours, because they have more chances of revenues than we do.
So it would be what the city of Palmer's, where I live, I pay sharing that water supply.
Yes.
It's Palmview pays Awasad,
Yes.
or Palmview residents, Palmer's resident.
Yeah.
So similar, or same almost. Same. Yeah, right. Just thinking is, so if I'm doing business in your city to provide water, at any point, is there like a percentage that the city of Palmview gets?
It's a good question, and I think we should get, if we're gonna give water to our community, because now we're in the city and you're providing services to our city, right? It's a good, something
Conversation,
something to kind of bring up, saying, hey, let's get some percentages
5%,
because of the fact that you're providing this to our city, and this is our community, right? So possibility,
maybe.
right? So something to think about. Well, continuing with that story and going a little bit more now, so people can understand that right now the state said, here's some monies for you to do the sewer project. It was exciting, but we knew it was going to be a hit.
Wait, are we about to talk about Awasad?
Yes. So now, because Awasad, remember that it's a separate entity from
Timeline code. Give me a timeline code.
from that.
Okay.
So when that happened, there was a lot of excitement, but then there was a lot of hesitations and saying, what's going to happen? Because remember one thing. I remember back in the 70s when our neighborhood where I grew up, there was no sewer. Mission was new development all the way to Alablanca South.
Okay.
Alablanca North, there was a new development and there was no sewer. So they placed the sewer way before some of those houses were built, right? So it became a less of a hassle because the community was still not developed. You have to understand that now with a developed community to provide the sewer, you're going to destroy some things that are already in place because you're digging and you're breaking into things because now they're there. Now there's houses full of cement that you have to break when those things should have been done a long time ago before those development happened.
Right.
You understand? So there was going to be some headaches. We understand that those are going to be some headaches and so.
Are you on the commission at the point?
No.
You were not in the commission?
I was not in the commission.
When the money's come in,
No,
and they have to decide who to hire.
Yes.
Or Awasad has to decide who to hire.
They have to place the bids. They go to the protocols of the bidding process and so forth, and they place the bids. And
so what is the city of Palmview's position on It's just
really wait and see
who they're gonna hire.
what they're gonna do, and kind of collaborate and work together to
Okay.
say, hey, now we're gonna get you permits, we're gonna do this, where you can do, where the plants, and so forth.
So when the money comes in, who got that money? The same
It's
company?
outside.
Okay.
We didn't get any.
Okay.
So here comes the decision making as far as
Who to hire?
who they're
Which
gonna
company?
hire. Who they're gonna hire. And I believe through the conversations and documents that they have that, they wanted to hire a different company, but they were not the lowest bidders. They were not the lowest bidders. So then the commission, water commission, and the state say, no, you have to go with the lowest bidders. So at that time, they hired the lowest bidders, because otherwise they were going to force Awasa to pay more money to make up the difference. In other words, if I'm going to let you borrow $40 million and these people are charging you 41, well, you're going to have to pay the $1 million to pay you the same. You're going to have the money to pay them the differences. So at that time, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure if what decisions they make. So they went with
The lowest bidder.
the lowest bidder.
So let me get this straight, because I swear I really am asking just straight up. You have to go with the lowest bidder.
I'm not too sure if you have to. However, the state says, "Oh, you're not going with this, so you're paying the difference. You are responsible for the difference," and that's what I understood by the meetings that we've had with the Awasa. It's saying you didn't have to do that, but you have to come up with that money yourself to pay the difference for them. At that time, I'm not too sure how the finances was with Awa, and that's it. See, all those things happened before, so we don't know.
Right. You can't really.
And did they make the right? They make the best decision they thought they did at the time. So then here we are. So they hired these companies. They were the lowest bidder, and it was split into two different companies. Okay, so one company was did the sewer on the south side of the Palmview, and the other company was doing the north side.
Now, when you talk about what the split, the freeway,
The expressway.
express.
And there's from the expressway to the south side, there's I think it's more area, if I'm not mistaken, because it covers all the way to past Old 83 and some instances over Mendezville. But in the north side, it's basically from the expressway to 495.
That's all home use for the most part.
For the sewer
Oh, for the
project,
sewer project. my
For
bad.
the sewer
Yeah, for the sewer project.
right?
Got it.
And north of 495, they're not getting
Oh, no, yeah.
sewer services. So in this case, so those two companies came about and they started and so forth, and they started bidding and doing those projects, and here comes
Was there a big price difference in bid, or was it the exact same bid?
between which
Those two companies.
no, they work together.
But the bid, when they bid, it was the same price?
Well, it was, I believe it was a split of them two companies.
Oh, okay.
bidding. I think it was a split in that sense. I'm not too sure how
Right.
those two companies, but they separated that demographically in that sense. So I think the North Side company was took care of some of the south, but towards the Homa Road, and Great Fogo, and that area. It's part of the North Side company, which is at that time was OG, and LG. LG was the south side, and OG was the north side.
Hold on, that's really good. Test, somebody check, can you hear me? Everybody comment, I got Sage, Kyle saying, I can't understand what you're saying. Does it sound too loud? Is it too low? Too muffled? Too fast? Please comment, Sage, Kyle, 20.
The mic is
I can hear you. What they hear, I hear.
okay.
But he's saying that we can understand, so I don't know if we're going too slow. I got the gain here. I apologize, fans. Let me know, comment if it sounds good or bad, but he's saying that they can't understand what we're saying.
Okay.
But I can understand you. So if I can understand you, we're okay.
But
Just some feedback.
so
Either way, keep on.
there are the two companies there, and going well through some conflicts, and then when we came in, once we came in, things already started to kind of uh, going into a conflict situation with those companies
Hmm.
because things were already the engineering firm from that started all this with Awasat bailed out. They left. So in the middle of the project, saying, "Hey, SMB, the engineering firm left." So they had to get another engineering part from Awa to kind of oversee what's going on in this case. So uh, there was already conflicts. Uh, what conflicts? It was them. When I came in, it was situations where we had a prior litigations with our side as well. There was some
The city of Palmview versus our
yes,
side.
there was some litigations there that was happening as when I came in. Uh, Typical sewer, it was a sewer project litigation that was resolved through the courthouse, I believe, and so forth. So I know when I came in, it was already towards the tail end of it. I was not in that situation. So there was some conflicts between Palmview and Awasat during that time. So we got to that situation. So I'm gonna fast forward a little bit about how the streets came about into play and what's happening now that uh, we started meeting with them. At first, it was just the personnel from our staff started meeting with them and what's going on here. What the agreement was that I was going to destroy one side of the street because they were going to put the pipes and they were going to fix that side of the street, right?
Okay.
But we said, you know what? We're going to take and fix the other side because it's going to be uneven or so we can make sure we have the right um, street for the community. So he says we're gonna pay for the paving on the other side of the street. There was no issues
Hmm.
to make
While
it
they're
even.
working on the one side.
Once they pave this one, we're gonna pave the other rest. Right?
I got you.
So they have funded for that. So we funded for the street that was not.
So they're gonna dig a hole, put the sewer, pave where they cover where they.
Only where they paid, and
You were gonna even it out.
even it out.
I got you.
So that was the agreement, and it was working well. It was working well, so we made the decisions and some of those streets. So he came. People didn't notice it was just they were fixing the whole street instead of just that side of the
Right.
street. So
Ahí allí fue de
sí, no
trabajar.
nomás aquí, no, toda la
Parejo.
calle.
Got it.
So then here comes some issues. Now, LNG right now, as we speak, they're already connecting over 1,000 sewer connections.
Mm.
So there's connections already at over 1,000
Working.
working,
Oh, nice.
ready to go. The pipes are working and everything's going. Have been some falters in the street, yes, but they're taking responsibility. LNG is taking responsibility on fixing those.
Okay.
You understand? They're taking responsibility and fixing those. Plus, they're giving warranty on those issues. Like if something happens, they'll come to repair those if something happens later. I'm not too
This
sure.
is now.
This is now. So LNG is paying their
But that's not that's the same company that started and built out?
no.
Oh,
That's the
okay.
engineering company.
Okay.
So now here comes the other side, on the OG side.
Oh, it's OG and LNG.
LNG right now they're still working and they're taking responsibilities and they're fixing the issues that they're faltering on those streets.
Okay.
On the south side, okay,
Oh, there's a south side.
the south side they're taking those. Have been the falters, yes, but they're taking responsibility and they're fixing. But not only
Right.
fixing, but they're giving warranty about those issues. They'll come back and fix those. There's contracts on them.
There's gonna be issues.
There are going to be issues because the community is already populated.
Right.
However, the conflict here is OG and Awasa. They were not clicking.
Okay.
So what did Awasa does? Fires them. They get rid of OG. They get
I
rid
was
of
on fire.
I was said, you know what? Yeah, we're tired. We don't want you here. Because our side still has the best interest of the community to get connected.
Right.
They have the best interest in that.
I'm sure they were frustrated.
Very much.
It's like me trying to build a house. It's like, hey, that's good.
And and right now we have a very good relationship. I talk to the engineer a lot. Hey, what's the status here? What's going on? No, because this going on. So they fired them.
Okay.
They were fed up. So that was the first step. Get rid of them. Every company that works for a big entity has an insurance bond to protect them from any issues that I have.
The company.
The company. OG has an insurance bond. LNG has an insurance bond. Everybody pay insurance. It's like a doctor. You have an insurance in case I mess up.
Right.
And the insurance company is going to back me up.
Mm.
It's like a car. You have an insurance. You crash, the insurance will back you up and fix it in those. You pay that monthly.
Right.
So they got rid of OG. So now we're dealing with the insurance.
Our side
is dealing with the insurance, with a bond company.
in the sense of what? Working on the streets or getting money or
We'll see what are you gonna do now? Because now I fired OG.
but they still haven't finished the job.
They haven't finished the job.
They messed up the job.
Exactly. So that's why they got fired.
Oh, I got it.
So now I'm going to deal with a bond company, right? With the insurance company that they do. It's like you have a car. I'm not gonna sue you. I'm gonna sue the insurance.
Right. Yeah, I got it.
So the insurance, this is where we're at right now. Guess what? The insurance bond company, what they did, and this is where a lot of people might not know. They hired the same people they got fired from Aguasad.
OG.
Yes.
OG.
Yes. The bond company hired them again.
So it's like I fired you
Yes.
from working on my city,
Yes.
and then that company hired you to continue doing the same thing.
Exactly.
Okay. I did not know that.
Okay. So those are the things that became a conflict now. So imagine these people let you go already, and now we're dealing with this bond company, and now they do this, and right now they don't have a good relationship. They don't have a good relationship, and I was able to meet with the bond company. They're coming next week to do an inspection. They're coming next week
On the job that OG
is doing.
Uh-huh.
So when I first, they're at it. The bond company and Aguasad, they don't like each other.
So then, at what point do you guys, as commissioners, city manager?
So this is a deal. Because
a lot of people blame you guys.
Yes, and they do. We have this information from them because we're continuing to talk to them, saying what's going to happen, and they're struggling with this company. They're struggling with this company. And we're having these meetings. We're having this meeting saying, hey, but what about the streets? We want the streets to be fixed. Well, the bond company is saying, we're not going to fix them.
What?
We're not going to fix them. They say that blatantly. We're not going to fix the streets. So don't anymore. We're not going to issue with the bond company. So we know that there's a big conflict between them two. Between Agua and the bond company, because OG is not even in the picture anymore. Because remember, OG,
It's finished the school system?
No, they haven't connected anything, and this is a problem that we're frustrating right now because the lines that we are there, the lines, the 495 lines, and if you notice, there's some people there getting water from the lines.
Okay.
They're getting water. They should have water in the lines.
And there's water in it.
And there's water in there. So right now the lines are not, and they're not connected because they cannot stabilize the system underneath. There might be filtration. I'm not too sure what the specs are. They're not. So they're the bond company came and it was raining, and I was out there with them, talking to them. They're blaming Awasad is blaming them. It's a mess. It's a mess. It's not a good working relationship to finish a project.
Who is working on the lines right now?
Okay, so the working on the lines is actually the bond company, which they still hired OG to do.
Again.
Yes, because they're still there.
But OG's doing something.
They're there taking water out from the lines, and they're supposed to say, why is the water there? Why is the water in the lines? Because it's not supposed to happen. Now, I was not hired another company to televise those lines to say, hey, there's issues here, there's issues there, there's issues there. I'm going to fix that. And they're struggling with that because I'm finding issues. They're finding issues, but the bond company don't want to take some
The
responsibility.
bond company doesn't.
Don't want to take this because OG is not in the picture anymore as far as the contract. It's only the bond company. And the bond
OG is the workers now.
yeah, that's the work.
I'm paid to do this.
So I don't even know if they're getting paid because it's part of their contract.
Oh, I guess you're right.
I mean, I'm not too sure about the finances in that. So then what happens is, I said, my recommendation is, you know what? I mean, what else are you going to do? You don't trust them, they don't trust you. The lines are not being fixed. They're not doing this. So there's another company, and right now there's another company they're connecting from the edge of the street to the houses.
Okay.
They're connecting
Another
company. They're connecting those.
Right.
So they already started on the north side. They started on the north side, but they're not tapping into the lines because the lines are not ready.
Oh, but they're just connected.
They're just
They're putting a sprinkler system, but don't turn it on.
don't just leave it on the edge,
Ah.
and they're gonna have to come back.
Ah.
They connect.
Oh, they're not connected.
They're not connected.
It's just like a few feet.
Exactly.
Ah,
So
okay.
they have some room to work with once they're not gonna connect yet until those lines are clear to go and be functional. Because right now they're not functional. There's water. So if there's water, there's an issue.
I got you.
You understand?
Yeah.
So now the streets are a mess. We're talking to Awasad about the fact that there's some streets, not a lot. You're talking about the north side.
So is the south side running pretty smoothly?
The south
A lot
side,
more than the north side.
yes. The south, I'm not gonna say smoothly, but the south side, they have 1,000 connections.
Get by.
The north side, there's none.
Okay. So it's a little bit smooth. A little bit smooth.
Are there issues there? Yes. But again, LNG is taking responsibility to fix those issues. They're doing that on the south side.
Sherry Land Water Supply. If you ever hire a contract or a company, please, for my sake, do not own contract. Who is it?
I don't know, man.
I'm saying Sherry Land Water Supply for my do not hire OGs. Go with LNG. And then
So then what happens is they're concerned about those line issues to be functional, to be serviceable for the problem not to be there. You know, regardless, we need to fix them now. But what's going to happen in 5 years from now? Are they going to be functional then?
are they? I don't know.
That's what the engineers are televising those things, making sure that whatever it's there, there's no filtration. There's no other things going into the pipes from other places.
There's a lot of testing that has to occur.
Yes, video cameras and stuff, and
Oh, into the pipe.
Into the pipes.
Oh,
So
that's what you remember we said televised.
yes.
Okay.
So right now, and here we're advocating for Great Fogel South. And Great Fogel South, which is a messed up street, but according to our side and according to what we've been having those conversations, it's ready to be paved. It's ready to be paved because the other lines are fine in that section.
Okay.
So let's pave it. So the community can get out, in and out of their
Right.
community through a nice street, because that's, Homa, there's a lot of pockets. There's a lot of areas of need on the lines. So you fix it, they might have to go back in there and refix those lines anyways. So it's gonna be a waste of a lot of money to pay them and go back in there. So Brave Football South, what I understand through the conversations that it's already been ready to, it's already been televised. There's no issues with that line. So we are advocating for them to fix that street, that Brave Football South. The other streets are still questionable whether those lines are still serviceable.
When you say televised and there's issues, I mean, I know you're not an engineer, you're but hey, do you have an idea of what kind of issues they have when they're televising that?
I'm not too sure if it's some pockets or some areas that are not connected, or the foundation of the lift station. There's different ways that I was told by the engineer, because when we get together, we talk a little bit about the specs. Again, I'm not an engineer, but we talked to the
They explain it
engineers,
to you.
and they explain it to us. Okay, this is the issue. This is the issue. This is the issue. They don't go into a lot of details. However, I have to give props to the engineers right now, because every time that people call me, hey, there's an issue here, there's an issue here, I call the people, the supervisors or somebody from the Awasa, and they quickly respond to those homes to make sure that they're, and this is mainly on the south side because those are already connected. On the north side, like I said, they're already connected to the house, but they're just, I guess, preparing to connect, but they're waiting for these people to finish the project. Once they finish the project, then the streets can be addressed. However, we want them to address those streets before, because we don't have a timeline when that project is going to be taking place. So we are talking really closely with them, and a lot of people have different opinions as far as, okay, there's legality issues. We've talked to the legal part, and we don't want to spend taxpayer monies for legal services that can sometimes might take 3 years of litigation before things happen.
Because I've heard that people say, why don't you sue them? Who do you sue?
Well, in this case, we don't have a contract to SureTech. We don't have a contract with them.
So the city doesn't sue anyone.
We can have some kind of things with AGUA, because we have that
So you sue AGUA?
But the thing is, here we've consulted with a legal, and there's consequences on those things. Could be good, could be bad. But I mean, we're afraid to waste. I mean, this is, I'm not gonna mention too much, but on this, but the people that when you sue people.
This is general now. When you sue
Generally.
people, general now.
When I sue people, and I'm a big company, you're a big company, and I sue you.
You're gonna sue me.
I'm gonna sue you.
I have my lawyer.
You have your lawyer, and what happens
You have
is
your lawyer.
I'm gonna pay a bunch of money to him.
I'm gonna pay him a bunch of money.
And somebody's gonna win, somebody's gonna lose, and then se acaba. Sometimes nothing happens, and they get their money. From whom?
From me.
Taxpayers.
Taxpayers in general, right?
And money's
Whatever case it might be.
So we have to weigh
You gotta
the
be careful with that
options. We
money.
have to weigh the options of deciding what are we here, because our side is frustrated as well.
I'm sure.
Extremely,
I'm sure.
because we have that conversations with them. Our side is frustrated too. So the engineers are frustrated too, because they're dealing with people that don't want to be there. They don't want to finish the job. They don't want to pave the streets. They're dealing with those type of people. So there's something happening. There's something happening, and we're hoping that Awasad is going to act on something extremely soon. To I gave them my recommendations. My recommendation says, hey, pues, they don't like you, you don't like them. Pues get rid of them. They don't like you, you don't like them. Get rid of them.
The insurance company.
Yes.
At this point.
Get rid of them. What they don't like you, you don't like them. I don't know exactly. I'm not deciding for them. Again, I don't know the situations on the AWA contracts with them and so forth. I'm talking about. I'm advocating for our community.
Right.
Because guess what? Their people are working in our community.
Mhm.
And my recommendation is, vámonos para afuera.
I need somebody to fix my community.
Yes. Get them out. Now, let's talk about finishing, having people there that want to be there to fix that project.
Well, I think we could have started with if Awasad are the ones that hired them, and I guess most people. I mean, before I learned more, people blame the city and then blame Awasad. And who's to blame? Well, if Awasad is the one that hired them, I would blame Awasad. And I say people should have voted for my brother Adolfo Mendez and not re-elected his opponent, who was probably one of the ones on the commission that hired, whoever they hired. Obviously, this is just a shout out for my brother. My bad.
So what happens is that what happens is a lot of those decisions come into play, and the difficult part with us is that, but we come into this servicing the community,
Right,
and
right.
having those issues that really are indirect to us. They're not a direct conflict with us. You understand? It's an indirect because we don't own the water rights. Somebody else does, but they're working in our community, and it's frustrating for all of us. And
Because you live where the streets are messed up for.
so we have those. What are we doing? Well, we're sending our people to go into Caliche to put this, and let's put them on Caliche because we don't know what they're gonna do underneath it yet because those lines.
Because you can't pay yet.
Because they're still working on those lines. Mm-hmm. You understand?
I understand.
So now we're paving some streets. We're paving some streets on the north side,
but that already.
But they're not in conflict with any sewer projects.
Okay,
We're paving those streets very, very soon. Yeah, we already went sent out for bids and so forth. So it's coming very soon. The north side, where we want to also provide the services, because they really haven't done much in the north side since I don't know when. Because remember, the north side is very, very new to our city. I think there's 4 or 5 years that they have been in our city so far.
With that, I see pictures on Ever as a commissioner. Is that part of the project, or does he get involved in those pavings?
No,
those are county.
Those are county.
Oh, it's county. I guess
those are county.
That's my question.
Yes.
So he doesn't get it in the city stuff.
No, it's this is where we're gonna need the help from the county.
Whatever comes into play.
Yes, and we want to have those conversations with the county because of the fact that, in our city, we need the county more than bigger cities do.
Kind of like Benita.
Because again, Mission has revenues of the water, the sewer.
All the businesses that they have.
The taxes.
Yeah, the sales tax.
The sales tax and the property taxes.
Right.
They have more revenue. So whenever you do that, because you need less of the county because you sustain yourself pretty much by yourself with your revenues that you have. However, in communities like us, in the sense that our sewer project is not there, so people are skeptical of coming in. And we're having Wendy's. We're having Wendy's is coming in very soon. Wendy's.
Oh, Wendy's is coming.
We're coming.
Chili and cheese.
Yeah.
Oh,
so there's another. We just got a. I'm not gonna mention this.
But
there's already businesses coming in. I know Nick Elizondo is doing another area there close to HEB, a little plaza. There's something else. I'm not gonna mention that again, but soon we'll advertise that. Something else is coming for businesses. So we're getting there. To the more we attract those businesses, guess what? Our revenues increase.
Yeah.
And when the revenues increase, our services become more often to those places. One little thing that we did right now, we changed the trash collecting. Because the trash collecting was always together with the water. to pay our side, right? So people pay the trash with the water to our side.
Trash or what else?
They pay with the water, and same thing here. I think you pay the water with the trash in the same bill.
Me, I'll say, my
Okay.
wife takes care of all that.
Fíjate del bill. So now we changed that process from our side to us. We have the software, got the personnel to collect now
Trash.
for the trash.
So there's dump trucks going.
Yeah, and
Cool.
well, no, not the trash service.
Oh.
The collecting part. Okay, let me
Go
rephrase.
ahead, go ahead.
Okay, Palmview used to pay the trash and the water bill for our side.
Okay.
So what's happening here, and for people to understand that what Palmview would do is, okay, our side, did you collect all the trash money? Give me that trash money, and then I'm gonna give it to Republic because those are the ones that are doing the service for us.
So what was Republic doing? Picking up trash?
Taking up the trash.
Like the dump trucks and all that?
Yes.
Okay.
So who was collecting for us? Our side.
The money.
The money.
Pay outside.
Our side.
Outside pay city.
Yes.
City pays Republic. I got you.
Well, in that exchange, a lot of things happen. You don't have the proper accounts. No, you don't have the proper accounts. You don't have the right amount,
Okay.
and so forth. And it was
Yeah.
always a struggle in that sense, because it's too many entities are
Right.
getting hold of those things. So we changed that.
What was that like?
Well, now it's amazing.
No, I'm talking about what was that like in the talks of, hey, I was gonna split that and just hell, let's handle it. Cause I got Kim and Ma asking, why not just give it outside and have it yourself? But before we talk into that is,
But we are with the trash.
right, so how, what were those talks like? How did that
No,
go?
because it's our control.
Oh, okay,
It's our control. We have to have a system for billing.
okay,
We have to have a system for billing. We have to have the personnel to billing. So it's our control when we decide, hey, you know what? We already have our system. We already have this.
We're gonna collect.
We're gonna collect.
ah, okay, so we don't need your service in that part every month. That's how easy it was, for the most part, right?
That was an easy process.
Right,
Planning, putting the personnel and the software and the people that are there in the city to do that. That took a little bit of time, but the process from, hey, I don't want you to collect anymore, I want to collect.
I got it.
¿Me entiendes?
So now people pay the city,
Now people pay the city,
and you pay,
Republic.
oh, okay,
So now we are getting our monies are different. We're getting, or if we have more money than what we had before.
which is a good thing.
Exactly. So now we're able to have monies there to pay them, and we still have in the reserves in that sense. ¿Verdad? So it was never before, Rudy, before we would always have to pay out of our own pocket to pay our Republic
To complete the,
the payment.
uh,
This process just saved about $70,000.
when you do that, is that, Leo City Manager just decides, or you guys as commission vote on that?
We vote on that.
Also, you voted on that, so there's discussion on that.
Oh, yeah.
Do we make this change?
So we make this change.
I'm assuming they all voted yes, right?
For the right now, it's very democratic. We have great people in our commission that are really with high interest in the city, and in the sense that we have some great discussions, and like I said, things are going in the right direction in that sense, but it takes stepping stones, and a lot of times people see different, but
When you talk about different, you talk about a different point of view.
yes, because let me give you an example. Even now, whenever people say, "Hey, pues they came and the city came and they dug in my backyard and they messed up my sprinkler system," and they made a comment or a posted something that they messed up the lines. Remember, I told you that now they're coming into their houses to connect.
Oh, yeah.
Connect. So a lot of people thinking that we're doing that.
The city.
Exactly. But see, we're not doing that.
It's our son
our
or
people,
the bond or
those people are
OG.
doing everything there.
Is OG doing it?
Well, no, it's not them. It's the other company there.
LNG.
No. Because remember, there's LNG and there's OT, and then the people they're connecting from.
Oh, it's a
the
different
houses,
one,
it's a
yeah.
the third
Oh,
company.
it's a third company. Okay.
The third company. So they're gonna mess up because remember, they're gonna go to the backyard
They're gonna dig
and they're gonna
a
dig,
trench.
and there might be a line, a sprinkler system that I'm gonna tap into it, and it could happen. I'm not saying and they're supposed to repair it.
Oh, they are.
They
Oh, you
repair it.
understand? Go to PVC, play.
They're gonna repair all those issues.
La hermana le consigo en esa vida.
I mean, we did the whole
I
thing
know,
ourselves. So, and those things, I just want to make sure that we don't have the water rights. If we did, that's something that hopefully in the next generations, and we can get it started. If we can get it started, that's something that's going to take a lot of funds to get the water rights. In other words, to have the water. For us to be in control of the water and the sewer and so forth for our city, just like Mission does, like information. And this is where the revenue is insane. We don't have the same revenue.
At that point, you need a water plant, and all that.
Well, we are needing to buy the whole thing.
Yeah.
Awasad has, we need to buy a lot of that stuff.
I got you.
It's one of those things that but it's what can I say? Those are struggles and headaches and a lot of conversations and discussions within our systems, within NAWA. And like I said, I've already even got discussions on the bond company, which and they express their emotions. They express their emotions and their feelings against our side, and we're there to hear them. And it says, you know what? Pues that's when I realized, guys, they don't like you. They don't like you.
The mutual agreement.
So,
Mutual dislike.
I mean, if you don't like the situation you're in, pues qué vas a hacer, ¿verdad? Because they don't like each other, and the community is in the middle, pues no, it doesn't work. So we're advocating to say, hey, pues, hágase un lado and find ways how to do this because
your concern is the job needs to get done.
Yeah, it
For
has
your
to be,
city.
of course. And we're advocating, and we're having those discussions a lot. And like I said, there's a movement where things are going to happen. And that's where we're at right now.
Right, Coach, people, you talk about revenue, and we mentioned sales tax, for example, as a difference here in City Commerce. I don't pay city tax, at least last I checked. We have 3 Mile Line Conway, all those businesses, huge, right? Walmart,
Yes.
should be maybe millions of dollars, whatever it may be. People, when I talk about taxes, and friends and the message me or whatever is, well, Rudy doesn't like taxes. And I clarify, it's not that I don't like high taxes or property taxes, how we have to go.
Yes.
And I say, I don't mind taxes. As long as the taxes are being used accordingly, responsibly, somewhat conservatively. Can you give me an update of what happened? Because during the campaign, and I was against it, of the lowering of the taxes during pre-election. What happened with that?
I mean, I cannot tell you exactly
the taxes so low?
Situation. The taxes are 50 cents right now.
Oh, the
50 cents.
How do we compare?
How do we compare 50 cents to the rest of the community? Well, I can give you we do a little bit of research, and you can see it on your tax bill. How much taxes are you paying? And go individually because all of them have different tax rates.
50 cents.
We pay 50 cents
per
100.
For $100. Okay.
So what happens is depends on the value of the house.
Right.
You multiply that times 50 cents.
Okay.
Or divide it by 100 to see how many hundreds we have, and then multiply times 50 cents. ¿Verdad?
We're about to go on the board and do
there's
your
a math. We can do that here.
Okay.
And have that. But I think I suggest that people look at those tax rates because it'll go up. I mean, all the taxes are going to go up. How is it compared?
Wait, tell me. So 50 cents, it's what it got lower to, or it went back up?
It's 50 cents right now. I think with that 1 year we paid 49 cents.
And then it's at 50, okay.
And then now it's now back at 50 cents. Now, the important thing is here is that if I look at the tax in La Jolla, they're at 57 cents
Oh
per
wow.
100. If you look at Penitas, I believe they're 55 cents. Mission 55 cents. McAllen also 54, 55 cents. They're all in the mid 50s.
And we're at 50, or probably at 50.
We're 50 cents in our palm view. It's really critical to say are we lowering taxes, but remember we can only have the power to lower taxes for what we collect, ¿verdad? It's como si yo lo tengo 50 cents, La Jolla might have it differently, and that's what the bulk of the money is.
I got you.
Hidalgo County might have 53, 54. We cannot control what the tax rate from La Jolla. We cannot control the tax rate from the county. We only can control the tax rate from our city.
And this is according to your appraisal value of your home.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Your house appraised at 100,000.
Yes.
So then that's when you do the math.
Yeah, you do the math. 100,000. You're gonna pay. $500.
And that's what you do.
That's what we do. You pay $500. That's 50 cents more, $500 per. So in my case, for example, a lot of people say we pay a lot of taxes. Yes, some of us pay a lot of taxes, but they have to understand that there's different tax entities that are being charged in that statement. It's not just Palmview. It's the county. And this is where the county says, hey, we also pay taxes for the county. What help are we getting? And we do get some help. There are county monies and so forth. You know, we pay some streets on the south side. We pay some streets so that they're going to continue to do some of those Irving County monies to pay some streets.
Oh, so part of the taxes that go to the county can be used for city.
We want to just to make sure that the taxes are extremely important in that sense because that's part of the revenues that we have. So we are the lowest. If anything, we're the lowest in the valley at 50 cents.
At least, especially for the ones you compare to the neighboring cities.
So we're proud of that. That we haven't gotten into conversations of going any higher with the cities, other cities, but you have to understand that a lot of smaller cities, tax rate might be a little bit more expensive because remember that might be the only
biggest
revenues that they have is through taxes. They might not have a lot of businesses and so forth. Here in Palmhurst, for example, and don't get too comfortable. It might be a situation, and don't be too surprised that one day you're gonna say we're gonna have taxes because if Palmhurst want to grow, they're gonna have revenues. They want to have revenues.
HEB, Walmart, Taco Palenque, I go there every day, so I can't wait. Hey, City of Palmhurst, don't be coming out with city tax, bro.
Those are just ideas for revenue.
I'll run for commission and be like, hey, no more city tax.
They're good people, man. They're people that hurt. We met those commissioners, and
I like City of Palmhurst. I'm happy here. We're happy here. I'm happy here. My taxes go to Sharon ISD. I love the fact that they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 basketball courts at the high school. The junior high school use some help, but whatever. I don't know where my kids are in middle high school. Actually, no, check this out. I got one more question about the city. But I told my wife, I said, if 9 shows promise in soccer, well, I can listen to what I'm thinking. I choose schools according to the fine arts program and the athletics. Let me tell you why. We revisit what we talked at the beginning because I trust La Jolla's academics. I'm like, we have good teachers, the teeth, it's getting implemented. I'm in the mix. I know what's going on. That's going to get taken care of. But the fine arts and the athletic programs, that's how I decide what to take. My wife is like, what? Aren't you worried about your academics? No, I'm not. For my kids. But one more question. Greg's. What's the plan there? Can you talk about that, or is that a surprise, or how are you doing there?
That's a PNDD economic development for the city that was purchased sometime back before I was there.
Oh, okay.
So
So they purchased Greg's.
they-
Now I got knocked down for the project. What's that
so,
coming down?
well, I mean, those are still again. There's so many other issues that we need to address.
Forget that. That I don't think gets
It's
into.
I don't have a lot of details as far as where that thing is going, but there's definitely getting it for businesses to come, inviting businesses to come and providing some ideas to move this city forward in the sense that we need businesses in that area. It's a fantastic area to eventually all that side of the street before there's houses. I think that what is it, 10, 15 years from now, those people are gonna probably sell it.
Commercial.
And guess what? When the sewer comes in, everything is it facilitates the facilities for other people to come and do this. Now, when they start, I mean, they're gonna finish rather quickly. I mean,
Oh yeah. They don't have to wait.
They don't have time, and they're gonna pay whatever it is to make it happen.
There's no letting guy.
Because the faster I get it, the more revenues the faster I get this. So once that happens, like I said, there's something else coming.
Where's the location of Wendy's?
It's gonna be South La Homa.
Okay.
South La Homa, right on the expressway. There's some.
And Pilates there?
No, across. They're gonna have to destroy some of those things.
Oh, where that tire shop or the 15 inches or like that? Right there.
They're gonna have to do some things there. But there's Dollar General coming in and all 83, Circle K.
Oh, cool.
So there's another one that is gonna be big, but I cannot talk about that one yet.
No worries.
So it's
But there's things going on.
yes.
Biggest challenge as a commissioner.
The biggest challenge is fighting those conflicts that are not yours, just like the one we're doing right now. Is trying to have people understand that a lot of those things are done by the sewer project at the Awasad. And believe me, their intentions are not to destroy the streets, and we're going to destroy the streets and leave them like that forever and ever. That's not their intentions as well. Those are the things that you fight somebody else's fights, and trying to build that network to kind of say, hey, how are we going to fix something that you're not involved in? But then the people think that the city is involved, like in the streets. Now our focus is like we paid attention to.
Excuse me, sorry. Yes, thank you.
That's the north side where there's issues over here. There's a drainage issue,
Okay.
and that's what we're going to be addressing as well. The drainage issue, the drainage in the streets. We're already putting lights. We're going to be putting lights in Tierra Linda South, Tierra Linda area. We're putting lights on the north side. So
Okay.
we're going to make sure that all those revenues are going to be used for those services.
Let's repeat that one more time. I'm a big sticker on that.
We're going to do
There's the drainage.
the drainage.
Where is that being worked on right now, or is it not yet?
It's going to be on Spring Glen. There's a big issue in Spring Glen subdivision.
Where's that? I don't know.
It's on 492.
Oh, okay.
492 in one of those streets.
Okay.
There's issues with drainage.
What did you say? Go ahead.
There's other issue over there by business center where there's a drainage problem there. There's spotted drainage issues,
But they're being addressed.
and there will be addressed. Now, we have to understand something. In McAllen, even though it's developed as it is, and even though people think there's drainage problems, they still have issues.
Right.
And people think it's only Pompano. If you go to Westlaco, if you go to Mercedes,
Edinburgh.
if you
When
go
we have
to,
those big old rains.
if you go to those places, it's not just a Palmview issue. It's
Yeah.
it's a county, a valley issue that the county is already working on those big canals. There's a
Oh,
big
we have
canal.
it right here on my house, right here, right down the street.
If you're
Oh,
going-
huge! It was like this. It's
Exactly. So now
huge.
those are the type of jobs. Those are the type of emphasis that the county is also addressing.
Which is good.
Exactly. So things are happening in that sense, and sometimes you don't see them, but you're gonna feel it. Has it rained more than past years? Definitely, a lot more. That our demographics cannot it could not I guess resist of the funding waters that we have in our cities. But again, it's not just the city; it's
Right, it's everywhere.
it's everywhere. Are we addressing those? Yes, we have monies to spend for those. Now, we're staying away from fixing some of those streets that are responsible from Aguasar, and not Aguasar, but LNG. Like I said,
Oh,
LNG,
right.
LNG is doing their part in addressing those streets. And not only that, they have warranties on those parts. So,
Oh, wait.
Wait,
So the city, there's some that you can't touch because there's
no,
still.
it's not that we can't touch it because they're still been addressing those
Oh, I got
lines. So if that's going to be the issue, we can put Caliche.
It's not ready yet.
Because
It's not ready.
they're not ready. The pipes are not ready yet. So Dreyfus South is the one that has been we're advocating for that to be addressed and hopefully to be.
You mentioned lights. What are we talking about there?
We're doing lights, and we did Spring Glen. We did a few streets on the north side, Daisy Ridge, I believe, and then Tierra Linda is going to get a new set of lights for the whole neighborhood.
Nice.
It's coming up. It's already been approved. We discussed it. There's going to be some modifications on some of those, making sure that we get the right prices.
I was about to say, who pays for that? Well, the city, the
city.
revenue?
We're
Where
going
do you get money for that?
That's the city. The city is paying for those things.
From tax dollars or
Well,
a little bit of everything?
Revenues from
Here and there. Okay.
Okay.
You mentioned something else. What was it? Drainage lights? You're doing something else?
We're doing paving the streets on the 5 major streets on the north side.
Which are?
Well, I know Spring Glen is one of them. Daisy Ridge is one. Mesquite is another one. There's 3.
Okay.
There's 2 more.
All right.
I
Right here. You
yeah.
come.
So there's 2 more. There's 5 major streets that are going to be addressed. And as we move forward, we are going to address some other needs in the north side as well.
So those are challenges, and you're talking about things that are right here. Something, maybe 1 or 2 things that you say, you know what? I'm proud of this part as a commissioner.
We have
Some accomplishments.
we have great staff. The staff that we have, it's been amazing to endure.
How long have you been there? How long have you been?
It's been 2018 to
3 years now?
Yes, 3 years.
Oh,
3 years. The staff we have there, it's we've gotten great people to do that and professional people to address those needs. Because let me tell you something. Every time I go and I consult with the people there, especially the Department of Planning and Zoning and all that. You know what? What's the updates on this? Well, we hear a lot of stuff on the streets and stuff, and we're trying to. We hired a drainage crew, that their job is only to the site drainage, cleaning up the covers, all the pipes underneath they're cleaning those. We buy equipment for addressing those issues. You know how on the site there's sometimes a little swells that go, the water runs.
Yeah.
We're addressing those. We hired three people, 3 personnel that are doing that strictly to work on those drainage little projects. A lot of times there's issues that are not too hard to do, like the pipes are clogged, and we have a machine that goes in there and unclogs them, so the water runs smoothly. So those are things that are being addressed, and I would say the staffing is what I'm extremely content and proud of what they've done. Every time I go there, it's very, and even though they take the punches, because we do talk to the people and they, Mr. Perez, we have an issue here, déjame. Tell me. I'm here for that. To whatever your concern is, I'm gonna address it. I'm gonna talk to the staff. We're gonna talk to the commission. What are we gonna do to address that?
Help people out.
That's what we're here for.
Goals? What do we see ourselves doing in the next 2 or 3 years?
Yeah.
As personal, as a commissioner.
As a commissioner, there we are. Mira, this putting the trash collecting from Wawasa to to Palm Beach,
You saw it already.
it's benefiting galore. Like you cannot imagine the revenues that we're having now compared to the revenues we had from that particular thing. We wanted to imitate, or not imitate, but bring the the trash service. That's a huge revenue source. A huge revenue source. McAllen does it, Alton does it, Mission does it. There's cities that have their own trash collecting because it's a huge revenue source.
Yeah, everybody throws trash.
Everybody's gonna need that, and somebody's gonna pay a little bit of money to get that service. So that's coming. That's coming. It's in the planning works. It's very very close. We just need to organize our situation, but it's coming.
Oh wait, you're talking about having your own trash company.
Exactly. Now it's becoming.
Oh, so it's not because we already you pay and the city pays someone. So now we're gonna have our own. Well, I say our own because my pride is in growing up with Palmview. Was the city of Palmview is gonna have its own trash collecting company, and people are gonna use it because they're
Well, I mean that's something a service that we need,
right. I see what you're saying.
and we are. It can just not go to Palmview. It can be extended to other
Yeah.
services as well and provide that service for them and increase that amount.
I see.
That's our goal because it's a major revenue source. And again, we bring the revenue. Guess what happens to our city services? You're gonna see
Better
better
service.
service because the money that we get in that sense it goes back to we need those trees paid. Okay, yeah, we have some money. Let's pay. We need this fixed. Okay, you know what? We can send personnel. We have the machinery. We have the equipment. We have the revenues to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Do we have that now? Pues no. We don't have that. We have to plan. Or we have this phase. We have to plan it out. What are we gonna do? Save the money with this,
Right.
and then
It's a tighter budget.
exactly very tight. That it's not. I want to be comfortable in saying, hey, that needs to be repaired. Vamos, tenemos eso. Planea, make the bids. Let's go service it. That's what I want Palmview to be. And hopefully, it has a potential because now it's about building a revenue source that is going to provide those services consistently to our community members.
Nice. So revenue, biggest one is revenue for the community. Any other message you like for people to know? What are you running again? Are you gonna try to get reelected?
Yes, we're running in May.
Oh, it starts in May.
It
Wait,
starts
when's the
in May.
election? That's for
May.
November.
In May.
Oh, the election is in May. Oh, it's right around the corner.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
May of 2022. We're like 5 months off. Wow. I hadn't even.
Yeah,
How does that go?
it goes fast. It goes fast. Let me tell you something. Ahorita we're focusing so much in what services we provide, what issues, what can we provide to the community. That's what we're focusing on. Hey, the community getting their concerns, trying to fix that, trying to fix this big issue with Agua and Amato Street, specifically some of those that can be addressed right now. They can be addressed. We're focusing so much in having that. Mira, the election, what can I say? To me, my perspective in the election process, it's what it is. It's an election process. I have a division between election and politics. Politics is good because we're supposed to be politicians to benefit our community. Find the best possible prices, sources, to have the right staff, to get the right personnel, the right contract for people that are doing jobs, and not have that system where our side is doing right now, hiring and firing people in this. That's politics. The election, pues es an election process, ¿verdad? It's an election process. And, pues I'm gonna vote for this, I'm gonna vote for this, and for this. That's that's an election process. And like I said, we're those things get sometimes carried away, but we cannot stop to focus on what we can here to serve the community. That's only a 2 week period, ¿verdad? A 2 week period. Somebody gets elected and so forth. Now we get elected. Okay, what are we going to do for the community? Back to being the politics. Getting the network done. I remember my dad used to say, "Eres un político." Este es un político. What does that mean? Eres un político. What would that tell us? Eres un político. Alguien es un político. ¿Qué es eso?
Pues, un poquito de labia y le echas carnita. Y,
So you get along with people, ¿verdad?
yeah. Hey, how you doing? How you
Get along
doing?
with people.
What's that? You
You're
just
político.
Yeah.
You get along with people.
Okay.
And you're getting along with people that are going to help you do something for a community.
But getting along with people genuinely.
Yeah, pues, you can be a político without being in politics.
Uh-huh.
¿Me entiendes?
Yeah.
In my case, my son, Dante, es más político. And
Okay.
he's not a politician,
But
but he gets along with kids from Memorial, kids from Garcia, kids from Zavala, kids from everywhere.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
He has a broader network, I would say, of people around him. And my mother-in-law, man, I mean,
Oh, you're a judge.
she was a judge for 18 years.
She.
And was she a politician? Yes. People like her. People like to talk to her. She's genuine. I've learned so much in how she behaves, how she treats people. Amazingly, Rudy. I went to a function, and I'm running after. I went to a function where, man, I met a lot of people because of her.
Yeah, I met a lot of people because of you, and
Yeah.
I do the show
Yeah.
because of you.
Good.
Hey,
Great.
Mendezville is this guy's fault
So,
in a good way.
and let me tell you the
Wait,
story
let me
behind
tell
it.
you. Keep going.
So I went to a function where it says, "Wow, this is great people, and this is over." And then my mother-in-law says, "You know that about 75% of the people there didn't vote for me."
Really?
And how she was getting along with those people,
No big
you
deal.
thought that they did.
Huh.
So that to me it says, "Wow, now that is to admire." How do you get along with people that vote for you and then vote for you? How do you have that relationship with people? How do you do that? That's what eventually trying to influence people to believe in you, ¿verdad? Pero sometimes things can go crazy.
Let me make a comment on that because it's a very interesting topic, and I've seen it here in my experiences, and I think and I think we as a community and voters, it comes down to character. It's just who you are,
Mhm.
and I think the more we look at character when we're voting, the community wins even better, or higher, or will be more efficient and effective because if they push his character, they're gonna be good. They're gonna do like they don't hold a grudge or este no porque no. Hey, wait a minute. Your job, you're a representative for the community. If that's your character, that's your character. You're gonna do good. Am I off on that?
No.
Or would you agree?
No. If your character is, how are you going to do it? Because ultimately, because we're gonna provide everybody has a voice, really. Everybody has a voice, everybody has a leader, everybody is a leader quality potential opportunity for people to lead. We all lead in some way or another. In your household, in your backyard, how you organize your stay, how you handle yourself and how you communicate things to other people, how you gravitate to other people, how do you apply that, whether there's situations where sometimes you might not agree in things.
Oh, me and you disagree all the time.
Hey, Rudy,
Me and you disagree all the time.
why do you like that post on Facebook? I think it's wrong. ¿Me entiendes? Why did you like that post?
You know how many posts people disagree with my posts?
So you sometimes it gets a little technical and saying, hey,
Right.
you know what? You like that posting. ¿Por qué?
The post.
Like I said, you have people, friends all over the place. You know, we supported somebody in the commission, the county commission, somebody supported in the Islamic commission. Why? Because we believe in what this person was going to do. And that's it. And you know, and go through that. And that's the way it's supposed to be. And people, everybody should have a voice. And because remember, we're representing our community. We're representing our community. That's what we are.
I like that word. And I think, I don't know if it was with you I had the conversation. I'm against, very personal view is, I'm against calling people like you an elected official. I cannot stand the official. I'm like, no, buddy, you're an elected representative to represent me.
Because we feel
Something happened. It's a sticker.
So-
My bad.
so you know, in that sense, you know, I always stay humble all the time, and we have a lot of those people in our district as teachers and coaches, and I'm glad. I remember Kenny Benoit is watching. I'm not too sure who else, but I
One of the most humble persons I'll ever meet.
and Valde same. You know, I saw them as players.
Oh yeah, that's
I
right.
saw them as players. I saw them as professional, and guess what? When I met them back when they were players, and I met them when I was a professional, amazing. You know, they're good people, and guess
You
what?
saw them grow.
Good educators. Valdez, man,
Best quarterback coach you'll ever see.
amazing.
I stand by that comment.
Forget about that. That's good, but his teaching skills.
Yeah.
He's an amazing teacher. You understand that he's a great teacher, and that's what La Jolla has developed as well. You know, part of it is you wanted to be a teacher. He teaches math and he's coaches. He's been an offensive coordinator and he teaches math because he has that passion for that. I taught math for 20 some years as well. You know,
Well, I taught math for 6.
so it's a great responsibility, you know, and if you have a passion, I mean, you're gonna do well everywhere you do it. And like I said, you know, he's not a lot of a lot more educators that really have shown the passion and grow as a person. I think politics or this becoming and this representing of people has really made me see things from different lenses. And a lot of times you see those lenses and then you go back and you discuss some ideas, some issues and some stuff and what are we going to do? And there's discussions and great discussions and move on from that.
You know, for those watching, and I think I need to make a point here is what democracy is and what you're talking about is, I must say, and you for the first, this just popped into my head, Coach. You saying that is, if anybody was my mentor when I came here, it was you. Because I remember, hey Rudy, you got your certification, you're teaching math, You would give me pointers. You would. You were my mentor my first 2 years, as hard headed, as confident, and egotistical as I may be. Like, I know what I'm doing. I got it. I'm confident in what I do. You know, the president of the class, whatever it was. But you would always mentor me in different things you saw. And where the Democratic example comes in, and as always, me and him will disagree on things. We've had our beefs or turmoil or whatever it is, but we're still here.
Yeah.
And we still respect each other. And we still know we're good people. And we're still in the fantasy football league.
Yes. And I'm still going to be to this.
But the point is, it's okay to disagree sometimes. And it's okay to get heated sometimes. But at the end of the day, we love each other, in a very respectful, grown man way. We share our stories, we share issues we have, and we go on. And I like that. And I think people need to realize that when we're voting, it's okay. And when we talk about the community, we talk about coaching, and that's the way it goes. We're all here for the benefit of whether it's the students or the community.
Because whenever we're in our work in this amazing profession that we chose to be at, amazing profession, I have to admit that I had opportunities to go elsewhere and make a lot more money, and I'm glad that I stuck around to this profession because it's given us that passion that I don't know if any other profession would. Because I dealt with business in 3 years with business, and it was tough. Made more money, but it was tough. I'd rather do this and go through the process. And when we're there, like you said, if we're coaching, we're about making the kids compete and be the best they can. If we're teaching, making the kids trust themselves and showing them how to think, how to follow a process of the thinking skills that they're going to use forever. Not just necessarily math or reading. What's the thinking process? What are the things that you're going to encounter? And this is what I'm thinking right now this is the first year that I can say, you know what? Social skills and the ability to resolve conflict is by far a lot more powerful than learning how to do arithmetic or reading. The idea of resolving conflict, because you're going to have that.
Especially this year, after when you reset.
No.
Yeah. Guys at Mendezville, I hope you enjoyed the show. Some pretty good stuff from the commissioner, my mentor for a few years. We compete, we're competitive, we coach together. Coach, thank you so much. Really appreciate you being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for what you do for Palmview. I have my heart in Palmview.
We're still here, and we're going to be there and servicing our community. And of course, the whole ASD. I mean, the best place to be as a parent, as a student, as an educator, as an administrator, wherever you want to be in whatever level of education that you want to be there. It's by far the best school district there is in the Valley, and because I've seen elsewhere through the capacity that I have. Thank you so much, La Jolla AC, for giving the opportunity to grow, to be able to educate ourselves with the opportunity with the kids and be able to do what we do now. Thank you so much. Have a blessed day or great evening. I'm not too sure what time it is. So it's already late. So God bless and stay safe.
Mendezville, peace. Later, hope you enjoyed the show. Coach, thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you.